When I saw you for the first time, No matter when or where, I always found myself near you. I didn't dare become your enemy, so I became your friend. But there was always discord when you came to our house, because I saw that my husband couldn't endure you. And it all seemed as arrived at me as an ill-fitting gown, and I really did all I could to make him friendly towards you. But with no success until you became engaged. Then came a violent friendship between you, so that it looked all at once as though you both dared show your real feelings, only when you were secure. And how was it later? I didn't even get jealous, strange to say. And I remember at the christening, when you acted as godmother, I asked him to kiss you. He did so, and you became so confused, as it were. I didn't think about it then. Didn't think about it later, either. Haven't thought about it until. Why are you so silent? You haven't said a word this whole time, but you let me go while talking. You sat here and your eyes have reeled out of me all these thoughts which lay like raw silk thoughts. Suspicious thoughts, perhaps. Let me see. Why did you break off your engagement? Why do you never come see us anymore? Why won't you come see us tonight? Hush! You needn't speak. I understand it all. It was because... That's it. Now all the accounts balance. Why? I won't sit at the same table with you. That's why I had to embroider tulips, which I hate on his slippers because you are fond of tulips. That's why we go to Lake and Marne in the summer, because you don't like salt water. That's why my boy's name is Estill, because it was your father's name. That's where I wear your colors, read your authors, eat your favorite dishes, drink your drinks. Chocolate, for instance. It's terrible when I did with your fiancé and regret, as you now regret. But I don't do that. We mustn't be too exacting. And why should I take only what others don't want? Perhaps. Take it all in all. I am at this moment the stronger one. You received nothing from me, but you gave me so much. And now I seem like a thief since you've awakened to find that I possess what is your loss. How could it be otherwise, when everything is so worthless and sterile in your hands? You can never keep a man's love with your passion and your tulips, but I can keep it. You can never learn how to live from your offers as I have learned. You have no little Escort to cherish, even if your father's name was Escort. And why are you so silent? Silent, silent. I thought it was strength. But perhaps it's because you have nothing to say, because you never think about anything. Now I'm going home. And take the tulips with me, your tulips. You can never learn how to live from others. You can't bend. Therefore you broke, like dry stuff.